agree with Brendan that
When we think of the Easter Rising leaders, we think first and foremost of James Connolly and Pádraig Pearse, but the two prime instigators of the Rising were actually the two men whose names appear first on the proclamation, Thomas Clarke, and the man who was born in this cottage in Kiltyclogher, County Leitrim in 1883, Sean MacDiarmada.
Sean MacDiarmada was the 8th of 10 children born to Donald and Mary McDermott in this cottage. To this day it remains the only home of the signatory of the proclamation which is still standing.
So we're standing in the interior of the MacDiarmada household. Sean would have lived here with his 9 siblings and his mother and father, Donald and Mary. The house itself is an incredible example of traditional Irish cottage. It has a number of very, very interesting features. Notably, one of the things that strikes you is their clever use of space. People in those days had to be very resourceful with the amount of space that they had. We see here we've got a settle bed. So this doubles as both a bench or a seat, if you like, and it folds out to make a bed. The people that would have lived in this house would have been very tough, very resilient. They would have had none of the amenities that we enjoy, such as a toilet and good bedding. One of the other things that you'll notice about the room is the fact that the table folds up. So this would have meant that people coming to visit the house, either to dance, to socialise, to talk, there would have been ample room to accommodate everyone.
With space at a premium, most of the children, including Sean, would have all slept in this bed in the attic. Above the fireplace, and almost invisible, is a clue to MacDiarmada's revolutionary past.
So what we're looking at is a gun, an actual rifle, and this is one of the most interesting items in the house. Most people when they enter the house don't actually notice it because of the gloom, and there's always great expressions of surprise when they see it. There's a lot of stories about this rifle, and it's said that this rifle was brought into Ireland via the Howth gun running.
Sean MacDiarmada is remembered here in the Kiltyclogher Heritage Centre, which was set up in his memory. He was not always known by the name for which he is now famous.
This is the old roll from the end of the 19th century, and conspicuously Sean MacDiarmada's name here is written as John Dermot, and it was only in later life that he became known as Sean MacDiarmada. Sean MacDiarmada became part of what was known as the Irish Ireland movement. In other words, they wanted to de-anglicise Ireland, and part of that process was to Gaelicise their names.
Sean MacDiarmada went to this school on the Glenfarn Kiltyclogher Road.
One of the great imponderables about Sean MacDiarmada is what would have happened had he fulfilled his original ambition to have been a school teacher. This is Corragloon National School, where Sean MacDiarmada spent no less than 14 years in his formal education. He wanted to become a teacher, but he failed to become one, and instead embarked upon a life basically as a full-time revolutionary, which was to end with his execution in May 1916.
The schoolhouse has recently been renovated by its new owners, American couple Jane and Brian Wright.
Before we came here, we knew almost nothing about Sean MacDermott. After we came here, we were really surprised and happy to discover that the schoolhouse we had bought was where he had been educated. we understood just what a place he has in Irish history and what a place he has in history in general. Sean MacDiarmada was really the brains of the Irish Revolution in a lot of ways. And he was the one man who saw where it could go and where it had to go and what had to happen to start it. It's just a tremendous feeling to be living in the place where he learned and saw and began to craft that future for Ireland and for everyone.
Like generations of Leitrim people before and after him, Sean MacDiarmada left Kiltyclogher, but never in his heart. In his last letter before he was executed on May the 12th, 1916, he wrote to his family, "Goodbye, dear brothers and sisters. Make no lament for me. Pray for my soul and feel a lasting pride at my death. I die that Ireland might live."